Welcome back to the beginning. Prior to my awakening, I'm your host, Mental Stimulant, the Divine Empress. And I'm going to have a brief talk with you guys about a download that I just got. As most of you guys may know from the start of my channel, that I identified as a bisexual woman, where most of my life I participated in same-sex relationships. So I state that to make you guys aware that I'm not biased of a same-sex relationship, because I also understand the causes and why some people get in same-sex relationships and the emotional connections in these relationships. Now, I do feel that some people participate in same-sex relationships due to past trauma, most times childhood trauma, where you were abused or inappropriately touched as a child by someone of the same sex. Some people were abused by the opposite sex, which made them cling to the same sex. Some had no connection with the opposite sex, which is why they clung to the same sex. So it's variable reasons why people participate in same-sex relationships. Some are proud and out of the closet, and some are not so proud and still very much hiding in the closet. Now, this channel is not for children. I'm speaking strictly, I'm speaking strictly of adults and those of proper age. The problem that I have with these things is this hiding, this lying, because there's too many variables to you choosing to not stand in your truth. And I'm going to tell you why it's wrong. First and foremost, it's wrong because you hurt everybody involved, because most of these people are in the dark. Their free will has been taken from them to choose whether or not they want to be involved in anything. And from a spiritual aspect, that's wrong. Because when you don't stand in your truth and you choose to have these same-sex relationships privately, while in public relationships that are viewed as heterosexual, you could create soul ties with everybody. So, for example, a man is in a prominent relationship with a woman. Some will call it, she's pretty much for show. She's just a beard to throw people off what he's truly into. I don't get caught up in terminology. But you're having a very public heterosexual relationship with this woman, and she doesn't even know that you even remotely even look at the same sex, more or less participate and have romantic relationships with the same sex. So just think about what this is going to do to her and children that have been conceived out of this false narrative. That's not fair to them. That's not fair to them. And then it's also not fair to your same-sex partner, because your same-sex partner has to be hidden, knowing that, the emotions and the feelings you guys have for each other are very real. But because you're refusing to be honest with yourself, be honest with everyone else, you're hurting everybody in the equation, which isn't right. By doing that, you also gain negative karma simply because you're afraid of how you'll be viewed. Let me tell you something. It doesn't matter how a certain group of people view you. That just means that's not your people. There's a whole group of people that will love you, cheer for you, and all of those things. You don't have to hide to be accepted. If someone don't accept your preference, then oh well, that's on them. But it's not necessary that you hurt all these people simply because you're afraid of what people will think and say about you. Don't even get me started on the exhaustive nature of hiding this. You know, I look at a lot of these guys sometimes that juggle multiple women, and, you know, their stories be getting crossed up. They be calling other women name. It's exhausting. We are not children. We're not children. One thing I refuse to do is not stand in my truth. If I'm going to be in a homosexual relationship, that's just what it's going to be. I cannot put my happiness to side by concern with what other people think. That's crazy. Because the people that do love me, the people that do care for me, is going to accept whatever I choose to do. Because those are my people. They're going to roll with me. So, not only do I think that you should be honest with yourself and those around you, I think that you should also take a closer look at yourself on why you're so ashamed to come out this closet. Is it that you don't really believe that you're homosexual and you're ashamed of the actions you're taking? Well, then, if that is the case, it probably means that you're unhealed. You're living and wallowing in your trauma, which would say you're probably not homosexual. You're just unhealed. In any case, what I want for you is to stand in your truth. There's no better feeling than being able to live and not hide. And honestly, I want that for you. You know, it's such an awful feeling to have to hide. Like, you can't openly hold hands with the person that you get those butterflies for. Like, come on. Because, you know, some people would think it's just about the sex. It ain't about just the sex. Because regardless of who you having sex with, there's a connection there. Even over time, there's going to be emotional connection there. So you and that guy are not just in it for the sex. You guys are emotionally attached to each other. Whether you want to admit it or not, the era of us hiding and lying because of what people will think is over. Look around. The only people you should be concerned with is yourself and God. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the world cannot judge you. The only person that can judge you is God. Why do you care what these people think? Hey, I want you to be happy. I want your families to be happy. Devoid of trauma. I want you to hold your head up and love in public, not in private. Hey, I love you so much, man. You can do this. Peace.